In recent years, a mysterious phenomenon has captured the attention of onlookers and internet sleuths alike: massive circular ripple formations appearing on the ocean's surface. These ripple patterns, seen from shores, boats, and even satellite images, are vast and perfectly circular, as if something massive is disturbing the water from beneath. While many remain unsure of the exact cause, the unusual precision and size of these ripples have fueled public speculation that something is happening below the ocean's surface that is hidden from general knowledge. Among the various theories circulating, one of the most popular is that these formations could be the result of secret underwater testing, perhaps conducted by government or private organizations testing new technology or weaponry within the depths of the ocean. Reports of these circular ripples have come from multiple sources, with sightings reported in various parts of the world. Videos and images have surfaced online, showing enormous rings in the water, sometimes spanning several hundred feet in diameter, with concentric circles rippling outward. The unusual symmetry of these formations has led people to question whether they are simply a natural occurrence. While the ocean is home to countless natural phenomena, from whirlpools to rogue waves, the scale and precision of these ripples stand out. They appear almost mechanical in origin, suggesting that they may not be the result of natural forces alone. One popular theory is that these ripple formations could be caused by secret underwater vehicle testing. Advances in submarine technology, underwater drones, and other unmanned underwater vehicles have accelerated in recent years, with both governments and private corporations investing heavily in deep-sea technology. These unmanned underwater vehicles are often designed for exploration, surveillance, and military applications. Some speculate that the unusual ripples might be the result of propulsion systems being tested on new, highly classified underwater vehicles. These advanced machines, potentially powered by experimental propulsion systems, could be generating circular ripples as they move or hover beneath the ocean's surface. Another theory points to the possibility of underwater weapon testing. Various militaries around the world, including those of the US, Russia, and China, have conducted extensive research into weapons that can operate effectively underwater. Technologies like submarine-launched missiles, underwater mines, and acoustic weaponry are constantly being refined and tested. If these ripple formations are indeed the result of such testing, they could be linked to shock waves or displacement effects created by high-powered devices or explosions taking place at controlled depths below the ocean surface. The massive ripples might be a side effect of underwater detonations or propulsion experiments, carefully monitored yet kept out of the public eye. In addition to conventional underwater testing, some speculate that the phenomenon could be tied to more experimental technologies, like sound waves and electromagnetic propulsion. Researchers have been exploring sound wave-based propulsion systems for underwater vehicles, which would allow for quieter, faster movement and less reliance on traditional fuel-based engines. If such technology were being tested, the circular ripple formations could be a byproduct of the waves or vibrations produced during propulsion. Similarly, electromagnetic propulsion, which has been theorized as a future means of movement both above and below the water, could cause disturbances in water patterns due to the strong energy fields generated by such systems. Aside from governmental and corporate interests, there is speculation and a cover-up that these phenomena could be linked to private exploration of deep-sea resources, and that what we are seeing is natural gases being released. In recent years, interest in underwater mining and resource extraction has grown, particularly for minerals found deep in the ocean, such as rare earth elements, precious metals, and other resources critical for electronics and renewable energy technology. The machines designed for underwater mining would have to be large, heavy, and capable of generating significant amounts of power to operate at such depths. This extraction could create disturbances large enough to be visible at the surface, resulting in the massive ripple formations spotted by observers. The mystery surrounding these formations has also led to debates about transparency in government and private operations within international waters. Unlike land, where testing and construction are often regulated, the ocean's vastness provides an unparalleled cover for activities that may be deemed sensitive or experimental. International waters, in particular, are difficult to monitor and fall under fewer legal restrictions, allowing organizations to conduct research and testing with minimal oversight. Many argue that if these formations are indeed the result of top-secret testing, the lack of transparency raises ethical concerns. Public trust is impacted, when it seems that governments or corporations may be using natural resources in ways that could have unknown environmental effects. For now, the true cause of these massive circular ripple formations remains unknown, and the phenomenon continues to intrigue and puzzle those who witness it. Whether it is the result of human intervention, a natural but as yet unexplained phenomenon, or a combination of both, the circular ripples serve as a reminder of the mysteries that still exist within our oceans. Interestingly, these reports of massive circular ripple formations on the ocean's surface come at a time when sightings of unidentified submerged objects, mysterious underwater objects that seem capable of maneuvering at high speeds and depths, are reportedly on the rise. Unidentified submerged objects, the aquatic counterparts to UFOs, have long intrigued scientists, military personnel, and the general public, with many reports originating from coastlines and open waters across the globe. The recent increase in both ripple sightings and USO reports has led some to speculate about a possible connection, raising the question of whether these underwater anomalies and the circular ripples might be caused by the same phenomena or entities. As videos and testimonies continue to surface, the renewed interest in USOs adds another layer of mystery to what may be happening in the oceans beneath our feet. Unidentified submerged objects have been reported for decades, often by naval personnel, commercial pilots, and fishermen who encounter mysterious objects that travel at impossible speeds beneath the surface. Unlike typical submarines, unidentified submerged objects reportedly make rapid turns, accelerate to extreme speeds, and even exit or enter the water without disturbing the surface, behaviors that defy conventional underwater craft capabilities. The most recent surge in USO sightings aligns with the emergence of these ripple formations, leading some to believe that what we are witnessing could be related to advanced, undisclosed technologies being tested underwater. Others entertain the possibility of extraterrestrial or unknown entities operating vehicles in the ocean, hypothesizing that these circular ripples could be the result of USO activity taking place far below the surface. This spike in USO sightings has led to increased media and public interest, particularly after the US government declassified reports on unidentified aerial phenomena in recent years. The acknowledgement of UAPs by official agencies has emboldened witnesses to come forward with USO accounts, many of which detail encounters with fast-moving objects that seem unaffected by the density of water. Many believe that if the government is investigating UAPs in the sky, there may also be secret studies or projects underway to understand the mysterious activities taking place in our oceans. The strange circular ripples observed in various parts of the world may thus be a direct or indirect result of increased USO presence or operations, leading to theories that some governments might be aware of this activity but are hesitant to disclose the full extent of their knowledge. The vastness and unexplored depths of Earth's oceans make them an ideal location for experimental technology and operations beyond the public eye. Some researchers and whistleblowers suggest that government agencies or private companies could be using deep-sea locations for highly classified experiments, taking advantage of the natural cover provided by the ocean to conduct tests involving unidentified submerged objects or other underwater technology. The circular ripples could potentially be a byproduct of these activities, perhaps created as objects rapidly ascend or descend in the water column, disturbing the surface with large-scale ripple patterns. The technology required for such maneuverability and speed underwater would represent an extraordinary leap from current known capabilities, lending credence to the theory that either classified programs or unidentified entities are behind these anomalies. In addition to human-made theories, some believe the rise in USO sightings and mysterious ripple formations could point to unknown marine life forms that possess advanced abilities. Deep-sea biologists have long speculated about the existence of large, undiscovered species in the ocean's depths. If such organisms were capable of rapid movement or even bioluminescent displays, they might account for some unidentified submerged object sightings. However, the precision and consistency of the circular ripple formations remain hard to explain through natural causes alone. Critics of the marine life theory argue that no known species, even those adapted to extreme underwater environments, could produce the structured and symmetrical ripple formations that have been observed. The growing number of USO sightings also raises questions about national security, and military interest in these underwater anomalies. Some believe that military forces around the world, particularly in coastal nations, have been monitoring USOs and possibly investigating the ripple formations for years. Certain sightings have even reportedly been documented by submarines and naval vessels, though such accounts are typically classified. If these ripple formations and USOs are connected, they could represent an unknown threat or a potential technological advantage that certain governments may be seeking to control or replicate. The ocean's depths offer strategic advantages for testing without detection, making it an ideal environment for potential military applications that could give one nation an advantage in underwater warfare or exploration. The recent rise in unidentified submerged object sightings has sparked additional theories connecting USOs and UAPs, suggesting that some of these objects may have the capability to move seamlessly between air and water. Such transmedium travel has been documented in some UAP reports and would require propulsion and structural technologies vastly beyond current human capabilities. The circular ripple formations observed on the ocean's surface could be a visual indication of such technology in action, with objects entering or leaving the water in ways that generate distinctive surface patterns. If such technology exists, it challenges our understanding of physics and propulsion, hinting at possibilities that extend beyond current scientific comprehension. Furthermore, these ripple formations and USO sightings have raised environmental concerns. Any new and powerful technology being tested in the ocean could have unforeseen effects on marine ecosystems. Environmentalists argue that such disturbances could disrupt local wildlife, particularly marine mammals that rely on echolocation, as well as other species sensitive to underwater vibrations or electromagnetic interference. Whether these ripple formations are the result of USO activity or some other advanced technology, the potential impact on fragile ocean ecosystems cannot be overlooked. As of right now, the simultaneous increase in sightings of massive circular ripple formations and USOs has opened a new chapter in the public's ongoing fascination with the unexplored depths of Earth's oceans. While explanations range from experimental technology and military tests to extraterrestrial or undiscovered marine life, no single theory has been proven. The connection between these phenomena remains an open question, one that has captivated the curiosity of scientists and everyday observers alike. In an era of advanced technology and scientific exploration, the unexpected appearance of a massive circular object on weather radar above Mexico has stirred intrigue and speculation. Detected by an online user monitoring atmospheric conditions, this anomaly has captured the attention of UFO enthusiasts and the general public. On a seemingly ordinary day, weather radar systems across Mexico picked up an unusual and massive circular object high above the country. This object, unlike any typical meteorological phenomenon, presented as a well-defined circular formation, prompting immediate curiosity and concern among meteorologists. The radar signature was first noticed by someone who was looking through the application, with them saying that they were monitoring routine weather patterns. The object appeared as a large, circular anomaly with clear edges, distinguishable from the surrounding weather data. Initial assessments suggested that the object was stationary at a high altitude, but its precise nature remained unclear. News of the detection spread quickly through public channels, with online users speculated as to what could have been causing this mysterious anomaly. Social media platforms were abuzz with speculation, and news outlets began reporting on the mysterious object. The appearance of such a distinct and massive object on weather radar has led to numerous hypotheses, ranging from conventional meteorological phenomena to more exotic theories. One of the more mundane explanations is that the object could be a weather balloon. However, this was very quickly rejected due to the size of the object. Certain atmospheric conditions can create unusual radar reflections. However, the precise circular shape and the lack of corresponding visual phenomena make this explanation less convincing. Some suggest that the object could be a military or experimental aircraft. Given the size and altitude, it could be part of a classified operation involving advanced technology. Governments often conduct tests that are not disclosed to the public, and such an explanation could account for the secrecy and peculiar radar signature. Nonetheless, no official statements or confirmations have been made by military authorities. The most interesting hypothesis is that the object is an extraterrestrial craft. UFO enthusiasts have pointed to the precise circular shape and the stationary position as evidence supporting this theory. This object, distinct from any known meteorological phenomenon, appeared on radar screens as a well-defined stationary formation. Its size and shape resembled that of a colossal disk, leading to immediate curiosity and concern among the observers. The object was first detected by a weather radar station, which initially registered it as a potential atmospheric anomaly. However, further analysis revealed that the object maintained a consistent altitude and showed a solid, dense radar signature, distinguishing it from typical weather formations like clouds or storm systems. The anomaly measured over 100 miles in diameter, making it significantly larger than any known aircraft or natural atmospheric occurrence. The detection of such a massive unidentified object has led to various hypotheses, ranging from conventional to extraordinary. The scientific community has traditionally been skeptical of UFO sightings due to a lack of credible evidence. However, the detailed radar data and pilot observations in this case provide a compelling basis for further study. Interdisciplinary research involving radar technology, aerospace engineering, and atmospheric science is crucial for understanding and potentially explaining such phenomena. From a security perspective, the appearance of a massive unidentified object in national airspace is a cause for concern. Many users who saw the anomaly said that the Mexican government, along with international allies, must assess the potential threat posed by such objects. This incident may prompt increased investment in advanced radar and tracking systems, as well as the development of protocols for responding to UAP encounters. Public interest in UFOs has been reignited by this event, highlighting the enduring fascination with extraterrestrial life and unexplained phenomena. The incident has sparked widespread media coverage and discussion, contributing to a growing movement advocating for transparency and disclosure regarding UFO sightings. Governments and scientific institutions may face increasing pressure to release information and conduct open investigations into unidentified objects. Regardless of the object's true nature, its detection has broader implications for science, public perception, and the discourse surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena. The detection of the circular object has reignited public interest in UFOs and unidentified aerial phenomena. This event has been added to the growing list of unexplained occurrences that captivate the public imagination. Such incidents often prompt discussions about the limitations of our current scientific understanding and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. As of right now, the detection of a massive circular object on weather radar above Mexico remains a mystery, challenging our understanding of atmospheric phenomena and the capabilities of current technology. While conventional explanations such as weather balloons, atmospheric anomalies, or military aircraft have been considered, none fully account for the observed characteristics. This leaves the door open to more exotic theories, including the possibility of extraterrestrial origin. Like many other countries in the world, Mexico has seen UFO sightings for many years. However, sightings have been especially frequent there since the early 1990s and the Mexican UFO Wave. In the early evening of March 5, 2004, numerous Mexican Air Force pilots saw and recorded 11 unexplained objects flying over Campeche State, Mexico. At a little over 12,000 feet, these light orbs suddenly materialized and encircled the jet as it conducted its usual anti-drug trafficking surveillance operation. Oddly enough, only 3 of the things that the pilots were plainly able to see appeared on the aircraft's radar system. The article states that the entire flight of the Air Force Merlin bimotor aircraft was captured on advanced, high-tech digital recording equipment while it flew its route. The plane's primary purpose was to report anything of interest so that combat aircraft might be scrambled if necessary. Since this was a surveillance and detection mission rather than a combat mission, it was not outfitted for combat. The crew initially noticed unknown traffic at 5 in the afternoon. Núñez turned the aircraft around and flew in the direction of the target because he thought it might be a trafficking plane and wanted to look into it more. He reported the abnormality to the control tower by radio as he was doing this. The jet abruptly and frighteningly vanished into the distance as it got closer to the unidentified object. Núñez and the other members of the crew realized at this time that they were dealing with something far more unusual. The thing moved so swiftly that the team was taken aback and momentarily confused on what to do. Then suddenly, it was there again, behind them. They had yet to establish visual contact, but they could see the thing on the radar. A second item emerged on the radar, behind them as well, and they rapidly surveyed the sky with their eyes. Núñez radioed the events back to the control tower as they were occurring. As for the objects, they were still tracking the jet, based on radar signals at least. Based on their observation, it appeared that the unidentified object was deliberately maintaining the same distance from the aircraft, indicating that they were, for the time being at least, only keeping an eye on it. The crew should have been able to detect the objects with their own eyes in addition, given the radar data. They were all perplexed, though, as visible proof of their airborne presence remained evaded thus far. After then, the aircraft executed a number of prearranged maneuvers in an effort to obtain visual confirmation of the unusual craft. But in spite of this, their radar data plainly indicated that there was something in the skies, and none of the crew was able to see it. They witnessed several additional objects suddenly appear on their radar screens as they persisted in their attempts to detect these mysterious things visually. Things were going to get rather dramatic. The crew took a moment to collect themselves before realizing that 9 new objects had emerged on the radar screen, indicating that 11 unknown things were now pursuing their aircraft, none of which they could currently see. Núñez reported these additional arrivals right away, starting to seriously consider the danger he and the crew could be in at this point. The crew was more than startled, as the objects abruptly moved into a circular posture, fully encircling their jet as they watched the events unfold on the radar screen. Furthermore, these objects were now very close together, based on the radar. Nevertheless, the crew was unable to see them. The crew maintained their composure in spite of the genuinely strange circumstances. Lieutenant German Marin, the radar operator, admitted to being a little afraid since they were facing something that had never happened before. Major Magdaleno Jasso Núñez, the pilot, stated that the objects, or the intelligence behind them, were well aware that the plane would eventually pursue the mysterious lights. Although he was unable to identify the bizarre objects, Lieutenant Mario Adrian Vasquez, the third pilot and infrared operator, said they were completely real. Núñez decided to switch off all of the lights in their car after a few moments to see if it would improve the problem. Suddenly, after a few moments, the objects vanished. They didn't come back this time. Following the occurrence, the Mexican Department of Defense conducted a thorough inquiry, which was conducted with extreme seriousness. In fact, General Clemente Vega Garcia took it so seriously that he assigned television journalist Jamie Maussan, who specialized in these areas, to work with him. Maussan had access to all of the data and interviews, and the 3 pilots were urged and granted permission to tell the journalist exactly what happened during the incident. Based on this, it seems reasonable to infer that a sincere effort was made to investigate the occurrence, but no rationalization has ever been offered. However, it would appear that whatever was causing this odd occurrence was extremely intelligent. Furthermore, it is impossible to overlook the parallels with the Pentagon footage. As we will see in a moment, what's even more intriguing is that there may have been a chance for violence to arise from this encounter, according to possibly leaked US documents. But first, let's travel back a little more than 10 years prior to the event and a UFO sighting that thousands of people saw. Witness reports of UFO sightings have been a regular feature of life in Mexico since the summer of 1991. Most people think that the event that started this ongoing wave of sightings happened on July 11th, 1991, in the afternoon, when many strange flying objects were sighted over Mexico City for several hours, and thousands of individuals saw these sightings all around the city, and the Mexican government finally looked into them. The fact that many of the sightings took place during a solar eclipse added to the incident's intrigue and memorability. This is probably because so many people saw the objects since they were already focused on the sky. Numerous witnesses reported seeing a large metallic disc that seemed to be a solid object and was traveling deliberately overhead. Guillermo Araguin, a reporter, and James Maussan, a television journalist, the latter of whom was subsequently assigned to look into the incident with the 3 Air Force pilots in 2004, were 2 of those witnesses. In order to watch the movie and write a report on the eclipse, they were walking about Mexico City, They would report on a great deal more, as it turned out. About a week later, the film they had recorded was aired on national television, and the television station was inundated by calls almost immediately from city dwellers claiming they had also seen the weird item. Additionally, a few of them succeeded in filming the thing. For instance, Eric Aguilar stated that he captured the unusual object on camera while documenting the eclipse. Approximately 60 miles away from Aguilar's location, at the same time, Luis Lara recorded an almost identical item on camera. The Breton family recorded an additional object that matched the ones in the first two movies about 80 miles away. There appeared to be a strange, wave-like disturbance behind the disc in this specific video, which some viewers said might be an energy trail. A few months following the sighting on July 11th, other people saw an identical object during a military air show. This incident prompted the US government to become actively involved in the UFO phenomenon and the real risk of an assault again, according to an alleged report that the Kremlin prepared for President Medvedev somewhere between 2008 and 2012. The story claims that cables obtained by WikiLeaks showed that the US military had been engaged in a covert conflict of some sort with the entity responsible for these UFOs.